De Leon Essentiella. Bless the essence for the essence blesses. Amazing awesomeness, psychic trauma here. Hashtag living the stream. We are at the Denver City Council meeting. We are in line. We don't know if we'll get in. It's a one in, one out. There's a whole line of people. Today is the last day for the government to send over their flock camera information that I requested 2 Thursdays ago. So they get a total of 7 days, business days. So I turned in Thursday, day 0. So Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Monday, 7 days. So they're supposed to turn in earlier today, or by 5 o'clock today, which I believe is right now. So basically, it's like 1 minute until the deadline hits for the flock camera information. So we'll be filing complaints and hopefully, if all else fails, lawsuits. When we get home, we have to send emails to Kyle Clark at 9 News to get the news involved and go from there. So yeah, there is a lot of union supporters here. So they're starting the city council meeting. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people ahead of me. But it appears that there's a whole row of people sitting down, so who knows? Oh yeah, what's up? Beard is looking fresh. Hello everybody. So yeah, we're here. I was feeling under the weather yesterday, went to sleep with kind of a fever and a cough. I woke up feeling better. So yeah, we got to remember to enter in our calendar. We have an appointment at 3 p.m. Thursday, the 18th, at Volunteers of America. Okay, it looks like they may be allowing some people in. Remember, I'm number 6 on the list. Yeah. Oh, there's the police chief. So that dude gave a gun to a child to shoot up a school to frame me for recruiting children for Wagner Group. That dude right there. This guy right here. Yep. Yeah. Guy's a fucking traitor. Okay. Here we go. I think they just allowed 3 in. And so we'll go from there. Hello. A gimbal? A gimbal. So it keeps the phone steady.
Wow. Where do you get those at?
I got it from Amazon. The same company that makes this also makes some of the best personal drones, DJI. So they say they're top of the line. I'm completely impressed.
What are you here tonight for? What are you here tonight for?
Watching it all go down. I was here last week. They voted on the $3 million for, I think it's called Urban Alchemy, which I really didn't understand why we're spending $3 million to have people show up and tell the homeless move along when we already have people in the city and county of Denver to do that job.
You're trying to keep it honest, huh?
Yeah. And then I work for a union, so there's another union, and they're about to be voted on. So union support, right? Yourself, what are you here for?
Mayor Webb is getting an honor tonight. Wellington Webb, the former mayor.
Oh, you're here supporting Mayor Wellington Webb?
I used to run all the city golf courses.
Oh, really? The one from across the street from the zoo.
The only one I didn't have.
The only one you didn't
Evergreen. I used to lease them to the city. Now the city's running out of money. If I guess, I don't know if they're not. Who knows? They always come up with it, don't they? But they might want to release them again, but I think I'm a little too old to do it. But you never know.
So like bringing the next generation.
Yeah, right. Yeah, golf's been really good, but it's getting expensive. Golf's expensive.
So when I was younger, I used to do boxing. Some kid I knew, he was like, Kenneth, why don't you come join golf with us? And I was like, why would I join golf? I want to do more of an athletic sport. And he's like, well, think about it like this. Golf is the only sport you can do when you're young and you're old.
Yeah.
How old do you think you can do boxing for? And I was like, damn, that's a very good point.
Yeah, it's fun. It's pretty, like, yeah, I'm not getting the brain beat in it.
Yeah. You're not getting your face beat in. Hopefully.
Right?
If somebody's getting their face beat in playing golf, something's not right.
Well, good luck tonight.
You too, sir. Anytime. Merry Christmas. Alrighty, 2 more people, me and one other.
There's a lot of spaces.
A CB4891, please do not retract messages. On this channel, we believe in an open repository of record. Even if you misprint, misspell, or say something offensive, please leave it up there. If you want to alter it and post a different edition of your comment, go right ahead.
Everyone that's in line, just make one single file line down that way, please.
Sí, que tiene el pájaro de oro. Ven. Sí, ok, ven adentro porque creo que van a llamar tu nombre.
All right, here we go. Oh no, they're letting everybody, Mayor Wellington Webb and his crew in. Alrighty. Our chances of getting in are slimmer and slimmer. So that dude right there, that's the former mayor. I once got into it with him in Telluride, Colorado, and my lawyer at the time was Johnny Cochran. I once had the same lawyer as OJ.
Is there Michael Wallen?
Did I get my 5K from Victim Compensation Fund? No, but I did turn in a letter. 2. Thank you.
Was passed earlier tonight. So basically, I'm up here today to express my gratitude to the hard work of this council, along with your public employees, and put forward toward making Denver a better place, not just for its employees, but also for its constituents. Thank you again.
Thank you. Next up, we have Lauren Senior.
Hi.
ahead.
Thanks. My name is Lauren Miller. I've worked for Denver Public Library for 12 years. Last week marked the 5th anniversary of my first meeting, December 9th, 2020. There were 4 or 5 of us on Zoom with Katie Rowling from CWA. Today, the majority of my coworkers are poised to file their completed union authorization cards. I am overwhelmed with gratitude to 2 sponsors and the Stronger Denver Coalition for crafting an exemplary strong ordinance that complements Denver's resounding 2-1 vote in favor of our rights. I want to talk about what this means for us. In September, I did a remote display of our labor history.
This is a city council meeting. Denver City Council.
Attempt after attempt to bring collective bargaining to Denver since the 1970s, including 2 ballot initiatives in 1980 and 1997. In 1997, the loss was a 3-2 margin, almost the exact opposite of the 2020 outcome. In the 2000s, other avenues were explored but didn't yield the desired result. I first heard about the idea of the unions at UL in 2019 during massive employee outrage after a former HR manager announced that DPL was now an at-will employer. We used to have 6-month probation for new hires and a grievance process. And all of a sudden, we had an employee handbook that now said, and it still says, either the staff member or the organization may terminate the employment relationship at any time for any reason, with or without notice. The at-will change only enhanced something frontline employees call DPL's culture of fear, our biggest obstacle to organizing. We've had coworkers quit the union or never join at all because they're afraid DPL will be able to mess with their pensions. Even if that's not true, it demonstrates how deep the paranoia runs among our staff. Leadership at every level has spread misinformation, taken down our flyers, and intimidated our members. I know at least 2 people who have been fired without knowing why, and I doubt they're the only ones. Our fight is to level the playing field so uneven that it's vertical. Our union wants a seat at the table with management.
They all eye me. They're all eyeballing
We have
me.
to change the law to gain it. Democracy defines our work, and it should define our workplace too. Back in 2019, in response to the upset over the at-will change, our HR manager told us we were free to work towards changing city charter in order to have a recognized bargaining unit, just not during those hours. And here we are today. As 2025 winds down, I keep seeing reminders to complete surveys for points in the wellness program Vitality. I don't participate in Vitality because they leave my social security number, but I am excited for thousands of other city workers to gain access to my favorite workplace wellness program I was running, my union. Thank you for all of your work and making the time-tested collective bargaining available to all of us so that we may all thrive at work. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, we have Dana Miller.
Hello everyone, my name is Dana Miller. I live in Denver. I live on 9th Street, and I am so proud to be a resident of Denver right now. I'm here to speak a little bit about the key line, and I know that people are down, and I'm very, very happy about that. But I'd like to talk a little bit about, let's pull out about 30,000 feet. And does anybody here know of the person Erica Chenoweth? Does that sound familiar to anyone? She was a professor at DU, and she was the one that her research came up with the idea of the 3.5% number that amount of people in a country need to mobilize for there to be a good chance of overthrowing authoritarian regimes. Another thing she talks about are pillars of support, and there are certain kinds of organizations that support the regime as it is. And businesses and civil servants are part of those. And we have to have businesses designed to go ahead and not do things just for money, but also to show up and be moral in their decisions. And so we need corporations like Keyline to just say no to the fact that they're making a lot of money off of Also, I'd like to talk a little bit. I was a flight attendant for almost 30 years. And on our airplanes, we were allowed to have 2 people on board in shackles. And they had to fly with 2 other guards because they would be concerned about having to be off the airplane if there was an evacuation. I've been looking at the flight ops manual for ICE, and it's very confusing as to who actually could evacuate the airplane. Imagine an entire aircraft of passengers who are shackled by their hands and their waists and their feet. How do you get those people off of an airplane? In the 90 seconds that the FAA says that you're supposed to be able to evacuate an airplane. They've been able to have done some evacuation of some ICE charters, but it's taken up to 10 minutes to get the people off the aircrafts. There's a lot of issues around Line in terms of its own safety record as a company. In 2023, 5 pilots quit because of safety concerns. And we have a whole list of other safety concerns about Line that we'd like to share with you if you'd like, if you're interested in seeing. So once again, it's a big picture. We need to have people like you to say no to ICE, and we need companies to say no to ICE for the money. And I'm so proud. Thank you very much.
My cave, my rules.
Instead, we have Grace Chazek. Sorry if I didn't pronounce the last name correctly. Say it for me, so I can. Yeah, it's Grace Chazek. Chazek, okay, thank you. Go ahead.
Good evening, council members. My name is Grace Cecilia Chazek. I have been in Denver Public Libraries for nearly 7 years. I'm also the Communications Workers of America Local 7799 treasurer, and I'm a proud member of DPLW. I would like to thank the sponsors for their tireless dedication to the TPU growth ordinance, and I would like to extend special gratitude to Councilmember Curry, who took the time to meet with me and hear my experience working for the library years ago, and has shown herself to be a staunch advocate of Denver laborers time and again in years since. Today, we are enacting the will of Denver voters and granting basic rights that Denver city workers have been denied for over half a century. We as city workers and community members appreciate that.
BPM, thank you for the happy poop. Black Pussy Matters.
For this step that we've taken towards labor rights in Denver today. Right now, city workers are struggling. We're not moving from standard for Denver library workers, and we have seen record turnover. We are unionizing not to spite the city, but because we love our workplace and the values it promotes. As a chronic legal person, I have left the library years ago, if not for the solidarity and hope I find organizing with my union, and I've heard similar stories from countless colleagues through the years, many of whom have had to leave before we could realize this mission. Thank you for this huge step forward today, council members. Solidarity forever.
Thank you. Next up, we have Carlos Cruz. He's stuck at security, but he's on the phone, and he's at security right now. There's a bunch of people from the seat.
No, you don't die for speed.
He's in the building, he's right in. I mean, he's here.
Next up, we have Milagros Magistrate. Milagros.
Next up, we have
Mariana Delarte.
virtual. Mariana is virtual.
Do you see her? No. Monica Payanda. No. Martin Payande. Brandon Gorecki. How do you say it? Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Brandon Gorecki. I'm also a resident in Denver, and I'm proud of the decision that council made today to propose to electors expansion to the airport. But today I'm here to talk about a man named William. He is a 76-year-old man with dementia that has been held in ICE custody at the Cora jail facility for the last 4 months. Since his detainment, his mental and physical health has deteriorated, being cut off from visitation And earlier this week, we were made aware after some investigation that he was transferred to Fort Bliss Gang Detention Center in El Paso, Texas, an infamous site for their human rights abuses, physical and sexual assault of detainees. ICE transported him without informing family, community members, or lawyers. And the unfortunate reality is that many immigrants are being transported and their families are unable to find where they are at, unable to visit them, and being lost in the system. And one of those companies that helps facilitate and carries out these flights is Key Lime Air, a company that is based here in Colorado. And this company was responsible for carrying out at least 83 of these deportation or transportation flights for ICE in September alone. Each one of those flights are dozens of stories just like Williams. And we will continue to demand that the city stops doing business with Key Lime Air and other companies that profit off of human suffering. And I'll be able to rest my time so I can speak.
Thank you so much. Next up, we have Yolanda Blanco. Next up, we have Alfredo Carvalho. Alfredo. Next up, we have Ian Tafoya. Is he on Zoom?
This guy ran for mayor.
Ian, did you accept the promotion?
Yes, can you hear me?
Awesome, yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Thank you, Council President Sandoval. Ian Thomas Tafoya here. I wanted to talk about a couple issues that all kind of interface both I think with economics and the environment. First, I want to say that the signaling around the energy study of the DIA for nuclear has just been really sad. The movement of the location this week has been really challenging in the community outreach we've been doing. I want to call out the recent load around landfill gas and just some recent information that we've been working with the state of Colorado around PFAS, forever chemicals that may make it through this process and into people's homes to be burned. Love to share that information around with you. Next thing I want to move to is just my concern about the amount of money that we are spending on buildings and stadiums here. Peyton Manning is worth $250 million and is a major owner in the new Denver Summit. We're about to play an inaugural season in a stadium that is already built, the Mountain Stadium. We talk about adaptive reuse and wanting to hit multimodal goals, yet that stadium is accessible by 2 transit stops now, and the same bike pathway now. And what I'm concerned about is that we're going to continue to be locked in for more revenue with a commitment perhaps to widen Santa Fe, while at the same time we're having a reversal in Alameda. I work directly with those community members about the new on and off ramp there at Broadway, and I can say that the local community seems very frustrated about this. Similarly, I'm very concerned about the new Bronco Stadium and 2A public partnership with the Waltons, who are the largest and most wealthy of all stadium owners. For me, this is climate and waste implications. Thank God we pass waste no more. But every crane, every truck that isn't building housing but is instead building stadiums is a wrong move to help us meet our goals. Electricians, plumbers, progress is not in all construction. Progress is in meeting the needs of our community. And while we're laying people off, we have people coming for collective bargaining. We're spending $16 million on the pavilions. I worked there in the movie theater when I was a kid. You have the $89 million on the Denver Post Pavilion, and it doesn't feel like the market is bottomed out. And so, what I'm here to say is it doesn't feel like we're making strong based decisions that also keeping our climate goals among other things. The amount of waste that is going to be generated in climate emissions from truck emissions to deconstruct a building across the street and build one across the street is just ridiculous. I am currently working on trying to put some of those numbers together, but I'm just here to say that these are not basically more climate decisions, and I just want to request that we continue to take a deeper dive on this, because if anything, if these things are going to move forward, these wealthy billionaires and 250 millionaires need to be paying for that, and we shouldn't be paying it our instead. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, we have Claire Gray.
Claire? Hi. I just want to thank you guys again. I'm here to talk about Key Mayor, and I just want to thank you again for it's the first time in a while I've smiled about things going on. So I just wanted to add a little bit to that real quick, just to remind everybody. Just with respect, I felt like that vote was a little mischaracterized based on what I was hearing. I just want to remind the council members that FAA grant assurance 22 guarantees equal non-discriminatory access to airport facilities. It does not force Denver to approve a new or expanded use for Key Mayor. Denying an expansion is not discrimination. Airports routinely deny or condition leases based on operational, community, and policy impacts. Nothing in federal law compels Denver to deepen a private airline's footprint, especially when that expansion would increase the city's involvement in deportation, in my opinion, illegal deportation activity that contradicts local policy values. This is a policy choice, not a legal requirement. And let's be clear, these are not abstractions. Key Mayor flights actively remove families, destabilize communities, and cause undue harm to my neighbors and viewers. Saying yes under the guise of federal obligation is a moral abdication, in my opinion. Denver has agency, we have values. I'd like to thank, and this council has a responsibility to act on those, and thank you again for doing so today.
Thank you. Next up, we have Bonnie Carter. Bonnie, you here? So, you know, okay. Next up, we have Dahlia Lucky. Go ahead.
Council.
That wasn't a fart. That was the gimbal shaking.
To discuss the Key contract. It's more than ever about the city planning speed and righteousness over simplicity. Some of our leaders can't seem to find common ground in the most basic of tasks, keeping us safe. Mayor Johnston has repeatedly stated that Denver is a sanctuary city, but he's had no qualms circumventing this council to ensure Denver is also a surveillance city. Meanwhile, Governor Cole has signed legislation intended to prohibit coordination with ICE, but has taken action to undermine that same law. He's now rightfully facing legal challenge for his hypocrisy. I suppose he was too busy making TikToks to thwart the mass assailants from assaulting and terrorizing the people across the state of Colorado. Against this backdrop, Denver City Council was tasked tonight with deciding whether its actions would align with the values of this community. Whether this council would prioritize protection over corporatizing illegal kidnappings and human trafficking. Rejecting a contract extension with Key Mayor is not merely a procedural decision, it's a clear moral and political step. Even small acts of refusal matter. And it's my understanding that this council voted to do the right thing. And we thank you for your humanity. Declining to provide logistical support for ICE sends an unmistakable message that Denver will not assist in the detention, transport, and separation of our neighbors under policies we know to be unlawful and unjust. By rejecting the furtherance of this contract, this council has affirmed that Denver stands with its immigrant communities and will not lend its resources directly or indirectly.
So I consider myself non-retarded.
That contradict the promises of this city. No one is illegal on stolen land. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, we have Roger Marshall. Is he online? No. Next up, we have Brandon Majors. No. Next up, Jesse Paris.
Yes, good evening, it's y'all yes, my name is Justin Sean Harrison, representative of Black Star Action Movement Self-Defense. I was elected to social change.
This guy also ran for mayor as a write-in.
Revolutionary agenda. And the votes in bed invested basic law in the historically black pieces of Idaho in District 9 in Harold Watson, Taylor Watson's district of District 9. I wanted to talk about prioritizing them illegal immigrants. Yes, they are illegal. They are illegal immigrants. They broke the law and broke the law and came across the border. Others aiding and abetting criminality. Under this guise of sanctuary. There's no sanctuary for black people. Anywhere in this country, anywhere in this city, anywhere in this world. We get outcries of illegal immigrants that come here with anti-black hatred, just like the rest of the immigrants do. But you want us to go out and vote. The midterms are coming up in 2026. Y'all want us to go out and vote for what? We're not getting nothing tangible for our vote. All we get is symbolic gestures in the first black this, in the first black that. That doesn't trickle down to the actual black people that are suffering in the city, and in this country, and in this state. We're done with symbolic gestures. We want something tangible, something specifically for us. We got all this time, money, and resources to get to these illegal immigrants that aren't even citizens. We keep talking about they need to process their citizens. The only reason why they have 14th Amendments is because of foundation of Black Americans. All these groups that come over here, the only way we have 14th Amendment is because the foundation of Black Americans wouldn't have none of those rights. So you really need to take confidence and respect to the foundation of Black Americans that built this country that y'all are fleeing to. Because you want sanctuary for and safeguard for while they are neglecting us. They are prioritizing illegal immigrants. All these Democrats, all they do, and they lump to the right that was trying to people, other, and minorities. And they give us those songs to bring up. We don't want to break up families, and we don't want to separate families. I have no problem separating all families. We just still doing it. I have no problem locking us up and throwing away the keys. I have no problem with that. And now that you're seeing over the years, oh, we have to treat them like they're actual citizens, even though they're not citizens. They're illegal immigrants that broke the law. So I'm here to get these illegals up out of here. Thank you.
That concludes our general public comment session.
So some lady who was like a torta, a fat Mexican lady, walked by complaining and walked out in protest due to his testimony saying that let's see that fucking black dude show up and say that shit in person. So I think I'm going to head off. That was funny. They're going to do a vote for union rights, and then they're going to recognize Mayor Mellington Webb. So I'm going to head off. Let's go home and write some emails. Excuse me. What's up, y'all? You going down? One? All right, so the stream might cut out. We're in an elevator. Going down?
Going down.
Yeah, remember to like, subscribe, and share. Next week we'll put our name on the list to talk because we were supposed to get a Cora request. It has yet to happen. Today was the day that was the last day they could give it to me. Cora. And we'll go from there. So yeah. Hello. Can I go that way?
The doors are locked.
That door's locked? All right. So we got to put on our coat, so hold on.
Do you work here?
No, I do not.
So you're not supposed to be filming in here.
Okay. Hey, guys. We were trying to leave, but we were told we had to go somewhere else to leave. So let's go leave. All right, so we saw that dude on the e-bike right there. He's been riding around up and down the street on his e-bike, rocking out to 80s music. So yeah, we have to walk back this way to grab a scooter. We have some vegetables for dinner. We're going with carrots, onions, potatoes, and yams. I wasn't feeling well last night. Something just came over me. Started feeling like shit at the end of the night. Went to bed. Woke up to go pee, and I was sweating. Like a feverish sweat. Went back to bed. Woke up feeling better. Have this little cough. So this is outside the city and county building. Yes, everybody, sounds good. Take care and be safe. So, hey, this is a quick 38-minute stream, the Denver City Council meeting. This cough is not, I'm just going to go home, eat some food, go from there. So everybody in YouTube land, stay warm if you need to stay warm, stay cool if you need to stay cool, stay healthy, stay safe, stay sober if you're choosing sobriety, because, whatever. All right. Peace. Love you.